Hi kids, just got done roofing my house and feeling a little lightheaded. So anyway, I'll take care of that after I finish making this video. Today, 9.5, Triangle Sum Theorem. And that is learning that all the angles in a triangle add up to 180 degrees. And if we give you two of them, you should easily be able to figure out the third. Hopefully, very easily, and maybe even in your head. I can't do that right now. My head hurts. I'll tell you what. It's got a screaming headache. Anyway, make sure you pause the video and do your practice problems, and hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. 9.5, Triangle Sum Theorem. The Triangle Sum Theorem states that all the angles in any triangle add up to 180 degrees, which most of us know. With the Triangle Sum Theorem, all three interior angles, which we talked about last unit, interior means inside angles of any triangle, they're going to add up to 180 degrees, and if you know two of them, you should be able to figure out the third. But it does take knowing two of them, or at least knowing one of them and knowing the other two are equal. Unless it's an equilateral, then we'll have a little formula for that too. All right. For example, if we know angle A is 27 degrees here, and angle M is 82 degrees, and we want to find the angle or the measure of angle T, we could set up a little equation, which would be 82 plus 27 plus T equals 180 degrees. Okay? And then you would subtract these two numbers from 180. You could add them together first if you wanted to, and get 82 plus 27 equals 109. And then I could take 109 minus 180, do some borrowing, and I would know that that third angle is 71 degrees. Okay? Similar to what they did right there. Okay? All right. Now I said an equilateral triangle is a little bit different. We learned about equilateral before when we were classifying triangles before. Yesterday, I do believe it probably was. And an equilateral triangle means all three angles are equal. So if all three angles are equal, I take 180 and I divide it by 3. Ooh, if I didn't know that before, an equilateral triangle, all three angles equal 60 degrees. They can be equal. They do not have to be, of course. All right? And the third kind for the triangle sum theory is a right triangle. This shouldn't be any harder, but sometimes kids get confused because they forget what angle G is. We learned earlier this chapter. That little half square right there, of course, tells it is 90 degrees. Okay? So, for the triangle sum theorem, we have to add those two up. It is 90 plus 41. Wait a second, what am I doing? I started subtracting. I've been doing so much subtracting. 90 plus 41. 131. I know that a triangle has 180 degrees in it. To find the measure of angle D, borrow, now I do my borrowing, 49 degrees. Okay? Yes, it does talk a little bit about a hypotenuse right there, which we talked about yesterday, and legs, which we talked about yesterday. All right. Let's get into some practice problems a little bit, see how we do with this. Okay, there's number 1. Why don't we look at that, and what would the measure of angle 1 be? Well, let's see here. Well, if I add 72 plus 65 and I subtract from 180, I should be able to figure out angle 1. Okay? Why don't you do that? All right. So 72 plus 65, 137. Now I take 180 minus 137, 43 degrees for angle 1. Second one. Two interior angles of a triangle measure 50 and 70. What is the third? Don't even need a picture. Add 70 plus 50. Do that, please. Okay, hopefully you got 120 degrees. Now what do I do? Pause it and do that, please. You're right. I take 180 minus 120, and I get 60. That is the third angle. Okay. Last one, a little more complicated than we need to go over right now. This is more of 8th grade algebra math. We won't see any like this on our MCA, so we're not going to worry about that right now. Okay. If you have questions on this, please come up and ask. We'll do some more example problems when we get to class. Good luck.